A very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to share with you some key insights on the Singapore startup ecosystem and various programs that will aid your journey in growing a startup in Singapore. This video is brought to you by Enterprise Singapore, a government agency championing enterprise development. One of Enterprise Singapore's key mandate is to support the growth of Singapore as the global Asia node for innovation and startups. Situated at the heart of Asia, Singapore boasts a robust, dynamic, and fast-growing startup landscape, which has been ranked highly through various publications, such as The Economist, Bloomberg, and Startup Blink. According to Startup Blink, Singapore is ranked first in Asia Pacific and 7th globally in their 2022 report, with a staggering valuation of $89 billion. With a pro-business environment that prizes human capital development, Singapore is an attractive global Asia node for technology, innovation, and enterprise, home to the region's unicorns, top deep tech startups, world-class talent, and global investors. Asia Pacific is expected to be the world's fastest growing region through 2030. With soaring consumption growth and deepening integration into global flows of trade, capital, and innovation, Asia Pacific is set to become a leading global economic powerhouse. With more than $650 billion of dry powder available and 50% of the world's unicorns, being in Asia puts you at the heart of the world's most buzzing and exciting region for startup growth. In particular, global entrepreneurs and investors looking east will likely find unparalleled growth opportunities in Southeast Asia. With more than half of its 650 million population under 30 years old, and the vast majority digitally savvy, Southeast Asia is entering a digital decade, with its internet economy expected to record $1 trillion gross merchandise value by 2030. Additionally, the development of Southeast Asia's green economy offers up to $1 trillion of annual economic opportunities by 2030. The region holds several key growth pathways across industries such as energy and resources, food systems, and cities. To strengthen Singapore's startup ecosystem and help startups capture growth in the region, we center our ecosystem development approach around these 5 pillars: market access, innovation opportunities, talent, financing, and infrastructure. In the past decade, our flourishing ecosystem has seen more than 4 times growth in the number of startups.
Today, we have over 3,800 tech startups in Singapore.
More than 20 unicorns have also been minted by the likes of Grab, Sea Group, Karo, and Neom. Underpinning this rapid growth is a consolidated and collaborative network of ecosystem partners that provide fertile ground for startups to scale. We have a concentration of more than
400 VC investors
specializing in various industry domains, a diverse pool of multinational corporations with venture arms and innovation hubs, more than 220 accelerators and incubators, and a plethora of startup-friendly workspaces that cultivate innovation. At the heart of the ecosystem, the Action Community for Entrepreneurship, also known as ACE, is Singapore's national voice for startups, and a key trade association representing the interests and needs of the startup community. In addition, Singapore is the forerunner for deep tech in Southeast Asia. Since 2010, more than 60 billion Singapore dollars of government investments have been channeled into building an innovation-driven and knowledge-based economy. Some of the key subsector strengths are in agri-food tech, artificial intelligence, healthcare, and biomedical sciences, and Industry 4.0 manufacturing. Some examples include Singapore's 30 by 30 strategy to produce 30% of nutritional needs locally by 2030, which has rejuvenated the food science and agri-tech scene. The 60 million Singapore dollars Agri-Food Cluster Transformation Fund and robust infrastructure such as the Agri-Food Innovation Lab will support the transformation of the sector into one that is highly productive, climate resilient, and resource efficient. On the healthcare and biomedical front, venture funding has grown almost 10 times to more than 820 million Singapore dollars today. This is testament to Singapore's best-in-class manufacturing and research capabilities that drive innovative drug development outcomes. The one-of-a-kind diagnostics development hub is Southeast Asia's premier platform for productization, using a co-development approach to de-risk the commercialization process for partners. Overall, Singapore is now a leading hub for manufacturing, research, and development, offering strong government incentives, ready-built facilities, and collaborative networks for forward-thinking startups who seek out the most profound scientific technologies to solve our toughest challenges. Singapore is the gateway to Asia Pacific and could be your springboard into Southeast Asia. The thriving startup scene in Singapore and Southeast Asia have drawn active interest from private equity and venture capital players from around the world. Startup funding volume reached an all-time high in 2021, topping private equity and venture capital deals in Southeast Asia. Tap on Enterprise Singapore's Global Innovation Alliance to expand into cities like Jakarta and Ho Chi Minh. There are also opportunities to pilot solutions with corporates through the Open Innovation Network and deepen industry expertise through Southeast Asia-centric living labs in Singapore. Our goal is to put Singapore on the map to be the destination of choice for the best entrepreneurs, scientists, and researchers. To connect all the various stakeholders in the ecosystem, Startup SG was created in 2017 with the aim to provide startups the opportunity and means to enter Singapore through entrepreneur work visas, discover new business opportunities, raise growth capital, get access to space, access talent, and scale new markets through Singapore as a launchpad to Asia. To help you get started in Singapore, we will be elaborating on 6 key areas to assist you in growing your business here, namely, how to apply for the entrepreneur visa, EntrePass in short. Where should you locate your office and recruit talent? How to raise smart money here. What are the platforms to find business and partnership opportunities? And lastly, how to access market opportunities from Singapore. These resources can also be found on the Startup SG network. The Startup SG network is the national, one-stop platform to access the latest happenings, support programs, and connect with startups, investors, and accelerators based in Singapore. Join Startup SG network today to discover new opportunities and stay up to date. First, let's talk about how and who should apply for the EntrePass. Launching a startup in Singapore can be easy and straightforward. Firstly, select the right work pass with consideration of your industry, experience, and expertise. Between the various work passes, EntrePass is the visa for foreign entrepreneurs in innovative or venture-backed startups. Secondly, choose a business structure for your startup and register your company online. With a relevant work pass, you will have access to the Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority online portal, BizFile Plus. Registering your company only takes around 15 minutes. To run your startup in Singapore, you will require a relevant work visa. EntrePass is a special work visa that allows eligible foreign entrepreneurs to start a business in Singapore. To be eligible, both you and your startup must meet prevailing criteria. Eligible startups include those that have raised venture funding, developed or commercialized tech products and services, registered an innovative patent, and/or have an ongoing research project with a recognized institution. As the founder, you must also meet at least one of the 7 key eligibility criteria, such as if you have founded and sold a tech startup, raised funding, developed specialized research expertise, or have achieved a good track record of investing in high-potential businesses. The EntrePass was specially created with the profile of foreign entrepreneurs and investors in mind. A key difference between EntrePass and other visa programs is that the eligibility criteria focuses on achievement of the founder and the company, rather than a minimum salary. There are also dedicated initiatives to help pass holders get assimilated into the local startup ecosystem. As an EntrePass holder, you may be able to bring on board your family members when specific criteria are met. As flexibility is important to every entrepreneur, there are no renewal requirements in the first year, as we hope to provide entrepreneurs with sufficient time to assess the market's suitability for their business. Thereafter, passes are renewable every 2 years. The application process is straightforward and done online. Processing time will take up to 8 weeks. To apply, please scan the QR code at the bottom left. The Ministry of Manpower webpage will take you through each step of the process for a seamless application journey. Apart from the visa requirement, startups would also consider various other needs, such as space, talent, and funding. Plug into Singapore's startup ecosystem and meet fellow entrepreneurs and co-innovators in one of the many workspaces catered for startup needs. Smaller teams can opt for flexibility and rent a cozy office within a co-working space in the central business district and still be at the heart of Singapore's commercial scene. Alternatively, look no further than Jurong Town Corporation's Launchpad campuses. Launchpad is the iconic tech ecosystem builder and centerpiece of Singapore's burgeoning startup landscape. It puts startups, incubators, and venture capitalists at the heart of an ecosystem that spurs innovation and collaboration. Campuses are strategically located to research institutes and global MNCs, facilitating the cross-pollination of ideas in sectors such as infocom technology, media, biomedical, urban solutions, and engineering. People are startups' biggest resource. Singapore is first in Asia and second in the world for talent competitiveness, as reported in the 2021 Global Talent Competitiveness Index, published by INSEAD and the Portulans Institute. In Singapore, startups have access to a pool of diverse and high-quality talent. In fact, more than half of the existing workforce holds a university degree and are in high-skilled employment. Universities and vocational colleges play a catalytic role in the ecosystem. We are home to several top-ranking universities with specializations in engineering, technology, and other sciences. On-campus startup challenges and international incubation programs plug student entrepreneurs and researchers early into the ecosystem, nurturing innovation mindsets, and ensuring a robust pipeline of future-ready talent. There is a myriad of smart and cost-effective recruitment platforms to help startups reach out to potential hires at a local, regional, or global level. For example, deep tech startups can look to the stars at SG Innovate to connect with the brightest talents in science and engineering. At the same time, startups can attract global talent through the Tech at SG program. Launched in 2020, Tech at SG helps Singapore-based technology companies recruit highly skilled foreign tech talent to strategically scale their core team. Startups with an eye on the Southeast Asia market will find value in the Global Tech Talent Alliance scheme. Under this program, they will be able to tap service providers that can help them build and manage tech talent remotely and navigate local regulations to facilitate market expansion. For more information on the eligibility requirements of each scheme, please scan the respective QR codes in the table. In the next decade, Asia is on track to become a global force in capital markets, and Singapore is well poised to become a leading fundraising capital in the region. Startup funding volume has climbed sharply from approximately 187 million Singapore dollars in 2012 to an astounding 14.7 billion Singapore dollars in 2021. There are effective platforms to match fundraising needs with capital, co-investment schemes to stimulate additional growth capital, and an equity capital market favorable to IPO-ready startups. Deal Fridays is a year-long pitching event for startups to gain exclusive access to a diversity of traditional and alternative investors. To supplement growth capital available to startups, Enterprise Singapore works with other government agencies like the Economic Development Board and SG Innovate to provide a suite of co-investment policies. Seeds Capital, Enterprise Singapore's investment arm, has catalyzed more than 1 billion Singapore dollars of institutional capital into Singapore-based early-stage technology companies and has over 100 deep tech companies in their portfolio. Lastly, Singapore's public equity capital market offers promising growth potential to startups. For one, the Singapore Exchange became the second market in Asia to allow special purpose acquisition company listings, offering an arguably swifter alternative path to fundraising for younger companies. For startups keen on direct listing or IPO, 2 new co-investment funds worth up to 2 billion Singapore dollars collectively have been released by Temasek and EDBI to act as cornerstone investors for promising homegrown startups. In a nutshell, with a medley of startup-friendly policies, not limited to deal-making platforms and co-investment schemes, Singapore offers a comprehensive fundraising ecosystem for startups. Beyond funding, getting connected to ecosystem partners, whether that may be investors, accelerators, corporates, or fellow startups, is also the bread and butter of a startup's growth journey. Startup SG Network is a virtual ecosystem that brings together the various entities in Singapore's tech startup community, nurturing ground for innovative and collaborative partnerships. Startups can profile themselves to institutional and angel investors and remain up to date on the latest pitch events, masterclasses, demo days, and open innovation calls. Open Innovation Network is the national crowdsourcing platform for startups to access ideas and resources and develop viable solutions in a shorter time frame. More than 500 corporates and startups have issued challenge statements, with more than 100 open innovation companies launched. The Singapore Week of Innovation and Technology, also known as Switch, is Asia's foremost technology, innovation, and enterprise festival, a global Asian nexus where scientific discoveries and advancements are transformed into disruptive deep tech applications that will redefine the way we live. Switch features monthly webinars and workshops for its 35,000-strong community in the lead-up to and after the flagship event. The event typically features startup showcases, round tables, and global partner and networking activities. Switch 2021 attracted more than 15,000 attendees from 45 different markets, with more than 400 vanguard thought leaders from industries, governments, and institutions. Join the Switch network by scanning the QR code below. Slingshot, Asia's most exciting deep tech startup competition, is also part of the Switch lineup. Startups stand a chance to win over $800,000 worth of attractive prizes and gain exclusive immersion access to Singapore's thriving startup and innovation ecosystem. Testament to Slingshot's global presence, the competition has attracted more than 15,000 startups since 2017 and had 500 international industry leaders serve as judges and mentors. The Slingshot experience has enriched many participating startups in more ways than one. They were able to expand their customer connections, sharpen their pitch for a wide range of investors, form new partnerships with fellow startups and investors, and get inspiration to further grow their product offerings. Moreover, with the additional global visibility and mentorship, winners have gone on to raise more than $400 million. Lastly, Enterprise Singapore's Global Innovation Alliance has partnered in-market innovation players in more than 15 global cities to run both inbound and outbound programs. Outbound programs help Singapore-based startups and enterprises venture abroad and receive mentorship and networking opportunities with local partners like 500 Global in the US and Plug and Play in Jakarta and Manila. Inbound programs support global startups in scaling up in Asia by using Singapore as a springboard. Typically, startups can expect to receive soft landing support in the form of lead generation, networking, and business development mentorship. Deep tech startups looking to dive into innovative projects also have the option of joining international co-innovation programs. Singapore is part of the Eureka Network, the largest international network for cooperation in R&D and innovation with presence in over 45 countries. By working with an international counterpart, startups can co-innovate solutions, test-bait them, and tap local expertise to scale globally. Inbound programs encourage foreign companies to come to Singapore, whereas outbound programs support Singapore companies to venture abroad. There is a wave of entrepreneurial energy and innovation sweeping across Asia and Southeast Asia. More dynamic companies are emerging with cutting-edge innovative tech solutions to address today's global challenges, and Asia's talent pools continue to grow rapidly. Amid these exciting times, Singapore has successfully leveraged our international status as a business and financial hub to establish a flourishing startup ecosystem. Whether infrastructure, talent, financing, or internationalization, there is a wide range of policies catering to the needs of startups of all growth stages. Grow your business in Singapore and get plugged into Asia's next chapter of growth. To have access to top global talent and capital, and to be at the frontier of innovation. Please reach out to ACE if you would like to be plugged into Singapore's startup community, or if there are inquiries pertaining to landing or growing your startup in Singapore. Thank you!